Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I got my dear friend, one of my favorite podcast guests of all times, one of my favorite internet peeps, Kate Doster, here with us today.
Hmm.
Kate, can you tell everybody who you are and what you do, just in case people don't know you? I feel like most people in my community know you, but in case they don't, give them the what.
Well, I am a giant Faith Mariah fangirl first. Second, I help people run their online businesses by helping them not only with like their email marketing so they don't feel like a giant spammer face, but also give you like feel good sales techniques. And I help people grow their audiences primarily through bundles. Because what I found is that I'm really great at teaching people how to sell and how to get out of their own heads and not feel like they're an awful person for wanting money, but they have no one to talk to. And things like Instagram and TikTok, they like to not give you people a lot of the times, or they'll like give you a lot of people once. And then it's like, what happened to all my people? So that's why I primarily teach people how to grow their list by hosting bundles.
I love that. Yeah, if you guys are wanting to do some collaboration stuff, definitely go check Kate's stuff out because I feel like she's the bundle queen. But I have to talk to you about sales since I have you here
Mhm.
because the questions I have been getting lately is like, Faith, like, what do I do for Black Friday? I need to do something for Black Friday. I don't have any ideas for Black Friday. And I was excited we were doing this interview because I feel like you're kind of the Black Friday queen. I feel like every year you have something really amazing, right? That does really well.
Oh, why,
So
thank you.
obviously
It
I have to
does.
pick your brain about it. What
Mhm.
what are your kind of tips for coming up with an offer for Black Friday if people don't know what to sell?
Okay, so the first thing is you have to let yourself be fun. And like we have talked about this before on my podcast as well, is that I think people forget that Black Friday can be a really great opportunity for you to try something new and branch out. Now, like Faith said she created a whole membership the week before Black Friday for hers because she wanted to just test out a theory and go with it. I'll do one like an audio course or a masterclass, or if you've been like maybe kind of wanting to pivot or wanting to talk about like stuff adjacent, like, you've been talking, say, a lot about like Pinterest marketing, but now you want to talk about like the actual like making of a digital product, you can really use Black Friday as that launching pad because a lot of the times with Black Friday, people are expecting, a slightly lower ticket price. So it's like, okay, I'm going to get paid. Essentially, you can pre-sell something to be able to do this. If you've ever thought to yourself, like, oh, I want to host, paid workshops, right? You could use Black Friday to sell it and then host it in December. So it can really give you that fun flexibility. But when it comes to Black Friday, and figuring out like, what do I sell? How do I go with it? There's really sort of four areas to play with. So you can either play with pricing, play with products. You can make it special, as we call it. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do that. And then the last sort of one is playing with topic. And so topic, like I said, it could be something that you haven't necessarily talked on before, something you thought about it. And I think that we forget sometimes that we can ask our audience and be
Mm,
like, hey guys, if you guys have Kit, or just even if you don't have ConvertKit, you can do this with anything, pull them and be like, hi, I was thinking of putting together something for Black Friday, but I'm not quite sure. Like, do you guys, would you rather have a printable set for home chores, or would you guys rather have coloring sheets that feature animals? Like, let me know what you want.
yeah.
And it can be the same thing with if you choose to play with any of the other pillars, right? Like, would you guys rather have just like a straight 25 discount on everything? Or would you rather do like a pay what you feel on a certain product?
I think
So
this
I
is
think
like
when you
a
think about it in those brackets, it
yeah.
helps a lot.
I think this is like so good what you said though about asking them like, do you want this or this?
Yeah.
Because it kind of preps your audience like that there's gonna be a sale for Black Friday, right? So you're
Mhm.
already marketing like in the sense that you're letting your audience know we're gonna be having a sale, right? And so I think that's a really, really genius. Like not only are you getting feedback about what is gonna sell better, but you're also getting them warmed up like to be sold to, and they're gonna be looking for your email expecting that you're selling something on Black Friday. So I love that. I think that's like definitely something you
Yeah.
guys should try out for sure.
Especially, and I know you might think this is odd, but especially if you have a small audience. And we
Mhm.
talk about, if you guys head on over to katedoster.com/treats, if you're listening to this in real time and before the 27th of October, 28th-ish, you can get our waitlist gift, which is your blessed Black Friday ever. It's an audio course. So if you're listening to this in the audio version, you're going to love it. And one of the lessons that we talk about is selling to a small audience. Asking a small audience what they want is huge.
Mhm.
because your email service provider is going to be able to track that data. So whether you just send somebody to like a thank you for voting for a page, or if you have the ability to actually poll people, that data is going to get tracked. So all the people that voted for the losing one, you could technically send them a private Black Friday sale. Be like, hey, so you're going to get emails because technically A won, but you really seemed into B. So like, here's your super secret link for like just here it is, right? Or people reply back to your emails and like, oh, I'd really like you to talk about this, right? Reply back to them with a Loom video. You can do this when you have a smaller audience, or even just in general, be like, thanks so much for letting me know that you're really into this. Like, build that rapport with people. You can get really scrappy when it comes with a smaller audience. So don't ever think like, oh, but like no one will do it. If you send your email to 50 people and 4 people vote, that counts. And make sure you're interacting with those 4 people because they're more likely to buy because they essentially built the offer.
Yeah, I love that. And people, I feel like when they're included in things, like they like buying too, right? Tell us
Mhm.
about some of the other pillars. What's like one of your favorite ones right now?
Let's see. So I have been really liking this because I have Thrivecart, and I think you can do this with a lot of other payment processors, but I like that sort of pay what you feel or pay what you want. I think that that can be really fun again for that workshop. And what's really fun about that is you could do a pay what you feel, pay what you want just for however long you run your Black Friday promotion. And then after that, you can bump up the price. So everyone knows, like, just so you guys know, this is going to be $47 at the end, but you can pay whatever you want between now and then. And you're gonna think everyone will pay a dollar. Not some people are, but some people will pay more than that. And you can always set minimums on that as well. You can do something if you are, say you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I really just want to talk about like my main offer, but I don't want to discount it at all. You could do something like offering an extended payment plan, which again isn't super exciting. So you probably want to combine it with some of the other pillars that we talk about. You can offer if people pay in full or if they pay by a specific date, maybe you're going to send them something physical in the mail. People love getting stuff in the mail. We were talking about this on my podcast. We
Yeah.
both use printed mint. People love that stuff and the quality and the wrapping, and they're so like affordable. I love printed mint. Like it is like so great for like $20. Like, and that's like the max that I ever spent for my coffee mug with like international shipping. It gives such something so tangible, especially because most of us sell digital products that like people can love it, right? And say that if you are teaching people like organization or something, right? Where it's like, okay, like I don't teach business to business. Like you can send people tote bags, like with something on like an inspirational quote, and then you just have like your logo a little bit at the bottom so people still know that it comes from you. And like, bam, that can work really well as well. Another thing that you can do is offer an additional bonus that's just going to be for Black Friday. And the fun part about this is it can be a new bonus for you, which again, you can have people vote on them. Like, I
Mhm.
want to offer, we're going to be opening up, your super awesome thing. I'm thinking of having a special Black Friday bonus. Like, what one would you guys really like to see? We'll do that. You can, if you have friends in the online space, maybe you've got affiliates for your program, you can ask affiliates, like, hey, do you have something that I can offer as a bonus for Black Friday? And I'll give you something. So I did this. I call it buddy bonuses. I don't know if anyone else uses that term, but it's my term. And I did this with my friend Nicole one year. And so I gave her, it was like a set of email templates, I think, for after somebody is in a summit. And she gave me like how to get sponsorships because like it made sense. It was things that like we don't necessarily talk about, but were complement for our offers. So you can reach out to a couple of different people and do that. Be like, oh, yeah, right. We talked about on my show how you opened your amazing Shopify store. So everyone go over to, is it Faith Mariah shop.com,
FaithMariahShop.com. Yeah,
right?
we get it
So head on
live.
over there, right? But say if you're not ready to open up your Shopify store, you can put, if you have a whole bunch of like old master classes and challenges, or if you've spoken a lot of summits, throw them together and have a vault sale. People love that sort of stuff. So I
Well,
think that we kind of like forget, like, oh, like we can do that, right? You can add like one-on-one, like the first 5 people that buy, you can put that limitation on there, get like a one-on-one call with you. If
yeah.
you have a ginormous audience, though, don't do like the first 5 people because there's going to be so many people checking out at once that it's going to cause some issues. So just to make sure that that limited number of spots like makes sense. So maybe it's instead of like you don't want to do one-on-one, maybe it's a special like Zoom live call for the first, 10 or 20 people can have access to you. So if it's something that you don't normally offer any support with, especially if it's like a lower tag thing. Like I'm not doing anything with my email marketing fairy templates, but if I was, I could have like an ask me anything email marketing, or I'll review the first 10 people's emails, right? That sort of thing could definitely work as well. Depending on where you're located, you can have like a contest or a giveaway, meaning like, again, just to make sure the rules of your country is fine, meaning like, okay, anybody who buys my Black Friday offer, they're going to get put into a pool and someone's going to win. You know, it can be a copy of a different course that you have. It can be coaching with you. It could be money towards things. So like, you know, you can win a year of ConvertKit, right? And like you would give someone like the cash equivalent of ConvertKit, right? Or maybe you could reach out to them and see if you get a promo code and the ConvertKit can pay for it, right? So you can do like a lot of fun stuff, right? Like it can't be hard to ask, right? That you're going to do this for them. So I think just don't think to yourself, oh my goodness, I don't want to sell everything at 50% off. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, and I think it's also a good time to like if you don't want to discount your main stuff, like obviously the bonuses and stuff, and that's awesome. But you can also think about stuff you already have. So if you could pull out part of a course and just sell
Mhm.
like either the first section of it, or if you could pull out in one of mine, like we just have a ton of bonuses. So what I've done one time is like I just pulled all the bonuses out and I made that into a bundle, looking at things you already have. And then the other thing that I've done when I
Mhm.
haven't had anything to sell is I'll sell like a workshop series that's going to happen in the future. So one year we sold,
Mhm.
it was like Next Level New Year, and it was every week in December a different workshop to get your business ready for the upcoming year. And so I didn't have any of that content done. Like I was going to teach it live each week in December.
Mhm.
So all I had was like the picture and the sales page and the schedule. So thinking about, is there something you want to make live? Even you don't have to do like a whole series. You could just do one workshop, like, or one call. Or is there things
Mhm.
you can like pull out that you already have and make it into its offer that's usually not sold? I've seen you do this with, didn't you do like you did like a
Did.
self-paced one, I think, one year.
Yeah, so the first ever time we did a self-paced version of Love Your List, which was my big course, and then everyone every Black Friday is like, "Are you still gonna bring up that?" I'm like, "Dudes, I haven't updated that in like 3 years, but they still want it, so I don't know. I don't plan on bringing it out on Black Friday. If enough people hound me, usually I'll do it, but I'm just like, I don't plan on bringing it back out. It's still solid stuff because it's all based on actual selling and copywriting principles, but I'm like, I don't even look like the same person anymore in the video, so I don't. So just be forewarned, I'm not re-recording them. You get what you get. But one year, what I did, and this is really smart if you've got a lot of products, I did a sampler. So
Mm.
what I did, and I again, you have to have a theme for your sampler. So I think one I had like, we'll just say it was like best sales or something, right? But it was like a sales sampler. So what I did is I have like a course called like Trello Magic. I have some email templates. I like love your list, right? So I took little parts of each sort of paid product that I had and I shoved it together and I sold it.
I
And guess
love
what?
that.
I cross sold everything. Because
Yeah.
like, hey, if you like this Trello board, go over to Trello Magic, right? All
Mhm.
right, we got your say again, maybe it was like funnel emails, right? So it's like, okay, we got your funnel emails taken care of. Then it's like, but what about everything else? Oh, I've got a product for that. That's wholesale, right? So that can be a really great way if you have a lot of say like standalone, like little solid courses rather than just like one-off topics that you talk about. You can definitely do a sampler sale. It works really well. There's a
I
lot of
love
cross-selling you
that.
can, and it just
That is
made
a
sense.
good
And,
one.
you know, to make it like extra special, I think just for people who bought that, I talked about like an affiliate launch that I was a part of. So it's like I did create one thing special, but it was kind of like you. It was like that's going to be added in December. Because
People
I
love
think
behind
one
the
of,
scenes stuff. If you guys can do like a
yeah,
behind the scenes, I have a friend that does like the week in her life, right? And she just updates a Google Doc and tells everybody what she does every week in her business. And I was like, that's so smart, right? But it's because people love behind the scenes. So if you could do some kind of behind the scenes, I think that could be a cool idea too.
yeah, it's really just sort of play around with it. And I think that, again, that can be just, I think that people forget that they can just have some fun when it comes to Black Friday and they can really experiment with however much, you know, they want to. And we don't want you guys thinking like, oh, you have, you know, everything you have to sell has to be under $100. The self-paced version of Love Your List was, I want to say it was like 400, 500, but it was because the full price version was 8 or 9. or a
I sold the
thousand,
crap out of it
right?
because I was an affiliate for it that year. And I was like, if you guys can't afford Love Your List, you've been wanting it, you're like, go get it. Because it never goes on sale. Like, this is the only time you can get it. And it was like a self-paced like version without the live calls. But I mean, people
Hmm.
loved that. I thought it was a great
Right.
offer. So I think
Yeah.
that's a really,
Another thing that we had talked about, and this one, you might be able to do it easier on the Shopify store. But you had talked about in our podcast about like selling like credits. So like
yeah,
you could do that, but like in theory, it could be kind of hard. Cause I know like one guy, Brendan actually, we talked about, he had, I think it was like Brendan Bucks or something. And I know with him, in order to redeem it, like you had to email his VA. So I
yeah,
think like they had like a spreadsheet and
yeah.
they were like keeping track. Cause like, oh, I brought my Brandon dollars. That's why I know, right? So I'm like, oh, I got my Brandon dollars. And then they would, send you back like a coupon code for the equivalent or like put you in the thing.
I
So
think
that's
it's
going to
really,
be kind of labor
yeah.
intensive on the back end.
I think
If
it'd
you could
be
figure out
easier
an
to do
easier way to run it.
I think it'd be easier to do like a coupon code if you don't have the setup or a VA to help you with like your own dollars or whatever. It's just like if you buy this, you get a coupon code for 50% off whatever for the next 3 months if you buy something or something like that. That could be kind of interesting. And then you just have
Oh,
to
I like
take the
that way.
coupon
That would
code and
make
email it to them. Like, and you could automate that, I feel like pretty easily.
I love that a lot about making it a percentage off rather than a cash amount. Because the problem with a cash amount is if something is lower, right? Like if it's like, oh, you get $100 to spend in Faith's store, right? But say you're running this in Thrivecart, if they're trying to buy something that's less than $100, now they can't use that code anymore. Now it's like, oh, but now I'm out by $72 and I have to hunt you down for a new coupon code. But if
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, get 25% off everything, I think that's really smart. We might randomly throw that in there Black Friday and see how that works out.
You guys too that
Just for funsies, why not?
yeah, you guys that have low ticket, I know you have a lot of low ticket people in your community. I do too that sell like,
Mhm.
patterns and crafts and
Flyers and
DIY
stuff, yeah.
stuff. I think it can be cool to do like rewards for like buying more, right? So it's like if you buy $20, you get like this bonus. If you spend $50, you get this bonus and this other bonus, right? And so that can kind of be
Hmm.
interesting too, is like incentivizing people to spend more, right? And buy more things at your sale. I think that's kind of an interesting thing too.
Yeah, and like just Google whatever payment like processor that you're using to see how to set that up or if they can set that up because chances are like you can. I know even something like PayHip, they'll let you I think they have a shopping cart now and at one point if people like shared about your stuff, you could give them a discount code. So like again, just see what your tools can do. Like I said, Thrivecart is not good for selling multiple things at once and like offering like big discounts. You'd have to like create a
Yeah.
bundle of those things. So like that's more of a single with like an upsell and an order bump scenario. But whatever tool you're using to sell your patterns, chances are it can do this.
Yeah, there's always little weird workarounds I feel like you can figure out when you really want to do something. But I think it's a great time to just try something fun. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be your biggest sale of your entire life. I think the best I think like my favorite energy lately is just like unbothered. So I think it's just like if we make a bunch of sales on Black Friday, like that would be cool. And if like nobody buys it, like whatever, I'm like I'll sell it again next year. Like who cares? So I think that could be really good energy for Black Friday is like, I am unbothered. I'm unattached.
Right. And even if it's just giving you the opportunity to practice selling. Like, and I know one
Oh my
of the
gosh.
biggest drawbacks that people say to not having Black Friday is like, now you're choosing to launch when everyone else is launching, right? Like I know in our space, we're like, oh no, like Amy Porterfield's launching this week. I'll never make any sales ever, right? That sort of a scenario. It's like now, no, you've got Target, you've got Walmart, you've got like all of those other places that are launching at the same time. But it's like, no, it's giving you the chance to flex the muscle and to show up. And I think that we forget, like, you should be in this time. Like, I wouldn't create something brand new from scratch in the next 2 weeks. I would do what Faith did. I would create a sales page and an outline, and that's it. Because you should be spending your time nurturing your current audience. And if you can get in front of some new audiences, I would do that between now and Black Friday when you're listening. I think those are the two better plays. Again, have something for December, have something in January. I'm sure you could whip up something just so that way, like when they buy, they get it. And like it's fine. But most people know that they're going to wait. So I would definitely spend your time and energy there and just be like, we're going to have some fun. I am going to practice launching and all of your newsletters. I would say probably starting in November, you can have that line that's like, hey, don't want to hear about my Black Friday offer, don't want to get my Black Friday emails, click here and we won't send you any. And
Yeah.
some people will click, right? Again, I believe pretty much every email service provider can do this. I don't know. Do you guys send stuff through Kajabi? I'm pretty sure you can tag people based on links that they click
You
and then
can
exclude
tag
them.
people in there. I don't because I'm lazy. Like,
Right. So like you can
it's not
offer
as
it like
smooth
if
as ConvertKit though. It's not as like intuitive, I guess.
yeah,
But you
fringe or
can set up tags
schmange.
that you could set up like a do not disturb Black Friday tag on the back end. And then if they
Yeah.
click the link, they get tagged. And then you just leave that tag off of your email. You can definitely do that. And that way too, if you guys feel
Mhm.
like weird about selling, like that's a good hack is like just give people the option to untag themselves. And then you're not bothering the people, right, that are there. The people that are opening those emails want to keep getting sales emails. Like they want more info about your product. So that can help you
Mhm.
guys if you feel like weird or icky about selling too, I think,
Yeah.
is like make it very consensual to some
Yeah,
extent.
right. And again, like we were talking about with letting them pick like literally like today, tomorrow, Monday, the absolute latest, send them an email with an option. We gave you like a million different options that you can do for your Black Friday. And again, there's probably something deep down in your heart that you know that you've been wanting to sell, but you haven't been brave enough to do it. I double dog dare you to do it for Black Friday. Because why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Again, the unbothered attitude. I absolutely love that. And just ask them and go with it. And y'all, for the page where you're sending them, because in order to click on a link, they need to go somewhere, right? For the Black Friday, obviously, you're going to have the page be like, okay, you won't get our Black Friday emails. Don't forget to send them someplace else.
Ooh,
Meaning,
say more,
okay,
say
they
more.
don't want to get your emails. And I do this for all of my paused emails. They don't want to get any emails about my stuff, right? Where are you most active? Where would you still be talking about it? Right?
Yeah,
So it's
that's
like,
smart.
don't worry, you're not going to get any more Black Friday emails. But while you are here, where do you want them to go next? Don't forget to listen to the latest episode of the podcast, right? Go subscribe to my YouTube. Check out this latest Instagram post. Like, go and get them to go someplace else because we love to assume that every single person in our audience is a super fan. Chances are, if they're a super fan, they're not going to click that. I don't want to hear about your Black Friday.
Yeah.
So they might not know you have a podcast. They might not follow you on Instagram or TikTok. Again, whatever you're more active is. Just think where else. And if you're like, hey, I don't do anything else. All I do, I hate that term, but all I do is blog. Then you know what? Put a really darn good, interesting blog post for them to go read on that page. Be like, while you're here, if you're struggling with A, B, and C, read this blog post now.
Yeah, that's very,
And
very,
then make sure it's one that is either monetized or you've got like, again, that makes sense, a blog post to sell something. Or again, if you have ads on your site, like you can do like a lot of things, right?
a lot of times too, when people opt out, when I opt out of emails, a lot of times it's just because I have too many damn emails in my inbox. It doesn't have to do with the person's content or their sale or like
Yeah,
not
right.
being interested in their stuff. I'm just usually in a headspace where I'm like, I don't know if other people do this, but I just get in a mood where I'm like, I want to clean my email, my inbox out, and I want like less email. And if
Mhm.
I'm in that mood, but then I'm like, no, I don't want any more emails about your sale. But you're like, but go follow me on Instagram and you pitch me over there, I probably would end up buying. So that's such a funny, like, because it's not like I don't want to buy from you. It's just like I just have too much stuff in the inbox. Like,
Yeah. Never send anybody to a dead end, right? Like just again, just like a little something like, oh, like check this out. Again, not everyone necessarily will click over, but there's going to be some people that would. And so it would be worth it. And you will 100%. I know your team must deal with it. I know that you don't handle your inbox anymore, but I know Abby tells me this every Black Friday, like usually like that Tuesday or Wednesday after, we will get people that'll be like, oh my God, I accidentally unsubscribed. Can you put me back on? With Active Campaign, it was a lot easier. With ConvertKit, it's like a thing, and I have to like reach out to them because it's like, no, it says that they don't want to hear from you anymore. We don't believe you that they want to be on there. I'm like, here's a screenshot. Like, okay, delete the whole person's profile, and then you can like re-upload them.
yeah,
Like, okay, I guess. So you'll get some because there are some people that are just like anyone that sends you an email Black Friday, I'm unsubscribing. And again, people will be like, oh no, I hit the wrong button. I too still want to hear from
It's
you.
funny the assumptions we make, right? Like when we did the creator camp, I opted out all of my mastermind from the sales emails because I was going to give it to them as a bonus, like as a surprise, right? So I wasn't sending them sales emails, but then I
Mhm.
remember in one of the sales emails, I sent them like a mini social media pep talk thing or something. And then the mastermind was like, why didn't we get it? Like we want to be on the sales emails. Like they're getting stuff we're not in the sales emails. I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's funny because it's just like I just assume like they don't want more email, right? But for some people, like they do like hearing from you and they do want your stuff. So I think always just like let people decide. Like I love the idea
Mhm.
of like letting them opt out themselves because then you're just letting them decide if they want to hear from you or not. And don't make assumptions about, oh, they don't want more email or they don't want to hear about blah blah blah. Like let them make their own decisions. They're adults. Like let them decide for themselves.
Right.
You have any final tips about like I know people are in this headspace of it's hard to sell right now. People aren't buying, people are holding their dollars tight. Do you have any tips about like upping those, getting those sales to come in and kind of closing some of those sales?
Sure. Um, and one other thing, this is also related to that. Don't forget about like your customers you currently have. So like
Mm,
say, and I'm not doing this, but like say like I was doing something for Live Your List, right? Like all of my listies would always get like the extra bonuses, right? But it's like, hey guys, like we're gonna sell the self-paced version. So there's really nothing for you to do here. If I had an affiliate program, they could have been an affiliate. So now that's how they're getting something for Black Friday. They're earning it from me. But you can create a special offer just for your VIP people. And I know we already talked about like the secret offer for the voters. You can always do that. It's be like, hey, just so you know, like everyone else are going to be getting these emails. And you're like, why aren't I hearing from you, Kate? You got it already. So here's 25% off to do whatever you want with.
that's a
You guys
really
go pick,
that's a really
right?
good
Like,
tip.
and if
Yeah.
people bought from you before, they're going to want to buy from you again.
It's a really good tip for people too that like maybe you don't want to run a big like 50% off sale on the front end because you're like, I feel like, it's going to devalue my stuff and I just don't want
Disingenuous.
to
Yeah.
do discounts. But if you took your best clients and you sent them a coupon code, like, right, if Kate
Mm-hmm.
said like, hey, like you're a listie, you can get, however much percentage off any of the stuff if you buy something this week. Like, I think that can be really nice too. So that way you can
Mm.
still offer like a discount. It's for your best people. It's almost like a customer appreciation thing. You're giving
Mm-hmm.
the discount nobody else is getting. You're still able to like bring in some of those sales without having a big sale on the front end, devaluing some of the stuff.
Yeah. But again, 100%. And I think that people really appreciate it. And again, it's one of those things like, I'm like, oh, I bet they're really doing it for everyone. Well, like if you go to my social media, like, no, I'm not talking about it, right? Like publicly, like no, like it's
Yeah.
literally just for you guys. I'm gonna try to create something fun for you, see what you guys want to do, that sort of a thing. So that's just like one aspect of like the people are holding their dollars tighter. People are holding their dollars tighter because everything is $1 bajillion. And for I don't call them normies, but for normies, right? Um, their employers aren't keeping up with inflation. So it's like, okay, I'm still just getting $20 an hour, which is an amazing rate to get, right? From an employer, but like everything else is so astronomical, right?
Yeah.
Because of that, so many more people now are waiting for Black Friday and Cyber Monday to buy. They
Ooh,
are
that's a good
waiting
mindset shift.
for your deal. They might be like, I love Faith so much and I've always wanted to support her, but I just couldn't justify it. But for whatever she's doing for Black Friday, I'm going to do it. So guess what? You're going to tell people early what you are doing for Black Friday so they can plan their dollars.
Ooh,
You don't
that's
have
a
to
good
open up the
one.
sale early. I'm not asking you to be like every athleisure brand out there that it's going to open November 1st because they always do. It's Black Friday month, right? But you're going to tell them like the second week of November, even that first week, you can have like a little blurb at the bottom of your email. And you're going to be like, hey, for Black Friday, this is what we're going to be doing in case if you want to plan for your dollars, right?
Yeah.
Or if you think that you're afraid that people aren't going to see your email, you can send them, be like, this is the link. When it goes live, that's when the deal is, right? So now they have all these emails that technically have like, it's not like getting them on a wait list per se, but it's just sending them to a page that's just like, hey, like this kind of is happening. So just like let people know. And I
That's
know
a
everyone's like, oh, but like now people aren't going to buy.
yeah.
Again, the people like, yes, if you're doing a flat 50% off everything that you own, then yeah, you're probably not going to get too many sales. But chances are a lot of people who are on the fence anyways, we're still going to wait for Black Friday to see what you offer it anyways.
I think that's one of my favorite sales tips we talk about in the mastermind all the time is I'm like, people don't know it's a good deal if you don't tell them it's a good deal. So if this is like the
Hmm.
cheapest you're ever going to sell something, for me, like usually the things we do on Black Friday, it's like we're not going below, like this is the best deal like you're gonna get from us all year. But my audience only knows that if I tell them that. Like, so you got to tell them
Right.
like if you're like, hey, like I'm gonna be doing this thing for Black Friday and it's gonna be the best time to get this thing, you can't assume that they know that. You need to tell them like it's a good deal. You're giving them
One,
something special or they
right.
don't know.
Or again, we were talking about on my show, for all of my current products, the best deals are actually going to be the week of my birthday because I'm turning 40. So
Yeah.
every day is, I'm spoiler, it's going to be a 4th themed sale somehow because I was also born on the 4th, right? So fun angel number. So like it's going to be like every single, it's a daily deal. Like I'm doing stuff that we've never done before. I'm offering huge discounts on stuff that we never offered discounts for, right? So like everyone is going to know, like for Black Friday, I'm not doing that. But for Black Friday, although I might try that, buy a discount for everything. That's a pretty fun idea as a bonus item. But like, I'm going to do just what I told you guys. I'm going to talk about a topic that a course that I've never gotten around to before. It'll probably be a pay what you feel. We'll see. I could potentially change it, but it's like that way everyone is fully aware that like this is what's going on and what's going down. And again, people, it's one of those things. I don't know if you're like this, Faith, but it's like you have like the money that you'll spend on like clothes, but then there's like the money that you're still setting aside for like food or like, I know this is going to sound so odd, but like I will spend $35 on shorts for the gym, but I would rather die than spend $20 on jeans. Even though I'm getting
Yeah.
more material, but like somehow in your head, people like really do have different silos for money and different tolerance of things that they will put. So you want to make sure that they're setting aside a Faith Mariah budget.
I do
And the
this
way that
for
you do
Black
that,
Friday because I shop on Black Friday and wait for
yeah,
Black Friday. And I always kind of have in my mind, like, it's this much for Christmas gifts, it's this much for business stuff, it's this much for that. So I totally get you. I think
right?
people
I
do
know
do
there's a
that.
couple of apps myself that I'm like, I'm going to see what they're doing on Black Friday.
I have a
And
list.
again, you don't necessarily have to sell on Black Friday. You can do something instead, like say maybe for all my health and fitness people in particular. Let's be honest, Black Friday is a very hard sale. They just ate a whole bunch of pie. They're still eating pie leftovers. And they think that the 6 weeks between, I'm pretty sure it's 6, between, I know it's 4 this year, between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's don't
God,
count.
you're giving me
So, like,
anxiety. I'm
trying
like,
to
it's already
sell
Christmas.
people, trying to sell people like a macro course or
Yeah.
like a feeling in your best body ever sort of scenario, it could potentially be hard. There might be some people that want to stay trim through the holidays or whatever your tagline is, right? But for you, it's probably January because
Mhm.
everyone is like, oh, you know what? I got to get to the gym. I need to quit drinking. I want to really nourish my body and be in tune with that and my wellness. So for you, for Black Friday, you might be either teeing them up and say like, I even say do a $2 offer. Why not? $2. And then it's something that you can sell all the time for more. And then this is why it's the best value ever, right? And then you're teeing people up for your bigger launch in January. Or you can just give them a free video training, a free audio training, a free something, right? So that way it's like, oh, when everyone is selling to me on Black Friday, this person's just giving me something. It better be branded. Whatever the big thing is that you sell in January, you need to mention it on that free thing. I think that people forget that. Basically, again, don't ever give them a dead end. That's going to be like the key from this one, right?
It's like
So I
we
was like,
work
if
so hard
I,
to keep them.
right?
You work
So
so
like
hard to get
if
them.
Faith was doing her huge mastermind opening in January and she wasn't doing anything for Black Friday, right? It would be like, okay, the free training that I'm going to give away, I'm going to make sure at the bottom of all those slides, it says the name of the membership. I'm going to make sure that it's like this training was pulled directly from, and then have a link over to the wait page for it. Like make sure that people know. So that way it's just like, oh,
Yeah, it's
right.
almost like
Or
a
even just
little
have like a next
pre-launch.
steps. Mm-hmm.
A little pre-launch for your bigger launch you're going to do in January. I'll tell you
Yeah.
guys too. I know we're talking about like make it easy and fun and like do what you already have. But if you're like me, what I did last year for Creator Camp was I used Black Friday as a deadline because I was like, that year is ending. I have been saying all year I was going to launch this thing. And I was like, I'm unwilling to go into the next year without it being done. So we're just going to do it now. And if there's something like that, you've been feeling like, you know, I really need this workshop done for my business, or people really need like help
Mhm.
with this, and you've been meaning to do it all year, you can use Black Friday as a deadline for yourself. Just be like, okay, I'm getting it done. Like, this is the time. And then that's an asset, right? It was like we sucked it up and got all that stuff together. That was a pretty big offer because it was a whole new membership. But then we had it to sell all the next year, right? So I was like, I'm going to get this done for Black Friday. I'm going to give them a great deal on it. We had like bonus, I think they got like bonus workshops or something. The price on it is already so good. It's $7 a month. So it's like, I can't like discount it any more than that, right? But then I sell it on Black Friday, but then I have it to sell all this year, right? So it's a really good opportunity to think about what assets does your business need, and then you can just use that Black Friday deadline if you're like me and you've been putting things off all year.
Right. Because
Mm.
again, it could be really interesting. And again, you can combine things, right? Because I'm just like, oh, I've been saying like, it reminds me of like, I don't think it was Publishers Clearinghouse, but like, remember when like you'd spend like a penny and you would get like all like these cassette tapes, right? I'm like, can I do
CDs.
an audio version of that membership? So it's like, do I have the audio only version of Creator Camp? Right. Where it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to have like some stuff that they can like take and grab and go with. So they have it. But like, I don't want to sit down and make videos. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I bet you we could. We could sell it for $7. Or I think you did Creator Camp for 77. So it's things that look really cool. And if I wanted to make something, say, even like more special, right? Again, we're building an offer right now. I could, the first 100 people, right? Or everybody on whatever day I open it, because you can open your Black Friday deal whenever you want to. Spoiler alert, everyone, you're the boss. Okay. I could make it. And you guys are going to get access to a coupon code for 25% off everything else. You can use that as much as you want for the next year. So it's
There you
like,
go.
okay, now I have the asset of the audio club. It's still at a still of a deal. It's still something that I could do. I can still randomly teach about whatever I feel like it. And people have now an extra incentive to be able to do it. And
Yeah.
now they're going to buy more from me because they have the 25% off coupon code. So like, if you see this on Black Friday, you know, guys, this is where Kate got it from, this interview.
Yeah. I think just take the pressure off, come up with some
Hmm.
ideas. Kate just gave you a million great ideas. They can get the cheat
Awesome.
sheet, right? How do they get the
Okay,
code?
so if you're listening to this in real time, you can head over to katedoster.com/treats. That is going to get you on the wait list for the All Tricks No Treats bundle. And because I'm not just going to put you on a wait list, again, where's your next step? You are going to get access to a 6-part audio course called Your Best Black Friday Yet. And in it, we have the Black Friday offer cheat code metrics because I have to
Ooh.
name everything really long, right? And so I literally have like color coded for everyone. Like there's even some stuff that we still have on here that Faith and I just didn't have time to talk about because there's like a bajillion different things that you can mix and match to put together a Black Friday offer that feels great to you. Because that's the biggest thing with Black Friday is I want it to feel great for you. If it feels disingenuous or you feel resentful that you are giving something away, quote, so cheap, then do not do it. You're not going to promote it. Everyone's going to feel it in your emails. It's just going to be, no, it's just not going to be great.
The worst
But,
feeling in the world is when you make a sale and you feel disappointed someone bought it. You're just like, ah,
right.
like someone got that for that price, or now I have to do this live workshop and I sold it for $1. And like, don't do that.
No,
Trust me.
right. And again, especially if you don't have that, if you don't have like a next step, like, okay, I know I sold this for $1, but I'm 1,000% going to talk about this other offer that's $200 at the end of that class, right? So, like, again, but if you don't have anything like that, it's not like that. So, I just want to make sure that you really feel good for it. So, we are offering your best Black Friday yet as a free audio course. And you guys are going to have a special bonus audio lesson from Faith Mariah, as well as our other VIPs as well. So you get even more tips on how to have your best Black Friday yet, how to set expectations. If you're worried about being a spammer face, they got all of that. And it is going to be available until technically October 28th at like 7 a.m. because the bundle itself opens then and that page just flips over. Thank you, new pages. So I've been debating about putting it in the bundle, but I really I love rewarding action takers. So if you're willing to get on the wait list for this bad boy, I want to give you something cool. So I wouldn't bank on you guys getting it in the bundle if you're not on the wait list.
Yeah. So go get on the wait list now because you're gonna forget. And also, I know Kate and I are like two ADHD queens. We just
Mhm.
threw a billion things at you, but I'm looking at her
Mhm.
Black Friday offer cheat code matrix and it's all laid out very orderly. My little type A people, it's color coded, y'all. It has all kinds of ideas, lots of ideas we didn't even talk about. So you'll have kind of like all of the stuff we just vomited at you in a nice little color coded spreadsheet, okay?
Mhm. So
So
you can be like, oh, I want to play with price. I'm going to play around with my product. And okay, what do I want to do to make it special? Or I just want to make something special. One thing, and I do want to bring this one up, even though it's one that we
yes.
didn't talk about, but because it was relevant to the podcast that we just did, you might do it where instead of, say, offering a discount, you're instead going to offer it like that you're going to put some proceeds to a charity to help something. So like if you've been feeling, say, like really bad about like the hurricanes, I know we had talked about that previously, just personally about like what's going on in Appalachia or things like that, you can be like, you know what? I'm still selling everything normal, but 25% is going to be donated here. And people really love it when they're getting your amazing course and now they're going to be able to help people. So that
Yeah.
can be a little something too.
That's a good idea, especially right now with everything, the world, everything in the world happening. Well, thank you so much. You guys go get the cheat code matrix and the what is it? The Black Best Black Friday Ever audio for free. I can't believe you're giving that out for free. But I mean, this too, I feel like you could be selling the matrix too. But
The
Kate gave
Matrix
it
is
to you
in a
for
paid
free.
product, guys. There's going to be a next step. And I talk about that isn't the bundle inside of the course.
Yeah, you can watch it in real time. Go watch Kate do all the things she's teaching. I'm like, we do all the things we teach. I'm like, you guys want to see my launch strategy? Just watch me launch. It's all very public. So go lurk. Anytime people are, if I know somebody's good at Black Friday, or I know somebody's good at webinars, or I know somebody's good at launching, I'm going to watch what they're doing, like to learn how to market. And I think that can be one of the best ways to learn how to market. So go watch like the things that Kate's telling you in real time. You're going to see her doing them if you go get on the wait list for the bundle. So
Mm.
that is that. Thank you so much for being here. I know they're gonna love this episode. So much gold was dropped. I can't wait to publish this tomorrow. I feel like we're gonna break
Yay.
the internet. You're about to break my inbox. Everybody's gonna be really happy, I think. So thank you so much for coming and sharing all that with us. I'm sure everybody's wheels are turning. Hopefully you guys can make some sales. And is there anything else you need to tell them or anything else we were supposed to promo or talk about?
If you have not already headed over to faithmariahevents.com, make sure, especially if you
Oh,
target people that are not business to business, if you are a consumer, if you're like, Kate, Faith, where can I get into a bundle that is targeting moms or that's doing gardening? Go over to faithmariahevents.com. That way you can apply to be in her holiday bundle, everyone. And
I'm gonna
then you can
hire
also
Kate
see
to do
how
my
she
PR.
runs it for. Again, and you'll be like, if you sign up to register for my bundle as a B2B business owner, you'll be like, huh, wait a minute, all this stuff seems a little familiar. Where do you think she got it from? So definitely make sure you do that. Because again, like we had talked about, we want you to be able to have people to talk to. Yes, for Faith's bundle, it's going to be more so for your January people, but maybe you wanted to create something new, you could technically offer in Black Friday and then maybe offer in the bundle. It can kind of just get the ball rolling.
There you
So again,
go.
just do
Yeah.
something that feels really good to you. I don't want to say don't put in no expectations for Black Friday, but like I don't want to say don't necessarily have a sales goal because I feel like you should, but I think it's more of a vibe that you should have. Like, you know what? I'm just doing this so that way I'm getting in the water and swimming. I'm learning how to send sales emails. I'm learning how to put together an offer, and I'm just getting out there and having fun. And sometimes I'll call it in my casual ways to sell your list. I'll call it McDonald's money. It's like just earn some McDonald's money, like just some fun stuff. It doesn't have to be the thing that makes you six figures in 5 minutes. It can make you enough to go get a burger and fries. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And yeah, that's a really, really good tip. And just take the pressure off. And the ideas come, I think, when you take the pressure off. This is something we talk about in the mastermind a lot is like get out of the
Mhm.
sales pressure cooker, take the pressure off. And then the ideas like come a lot easier when we're like, what am I going to sell? What am I going to sell? It needs to be the best sale. It needs to be the best sale. We need the revenue. It's like, it's like a block to all your own genius. Trust me. So just let go. You'll think of something, you'll think of something great and your people will love it and it's all good, right? It's just one launch, one offer, good out there. Apply for the holiday abundance bundle, get on the wait list for it's katedoster.com/treat, right? Get on the
treats. Well, I did with yes and without, just in case.
okay.
So we don't go
That's
there.
always
So
a
the
good. That's always
all
a good
treats,
pro
no
tip.
tricks bundle because it's going on during Halloween. So, and guys, on actually Halloween, if you sign up for the bundle, it's free. There's no tricks. There's no upsells to this, guys. There's no bundle boosters. None of them. It's just free. You can come to a live Q&A with myself and Faith and some of our other VIPs. So if you did have a little bit more questions about like, is this a good Black Friday offer? Not only can you pitch it to us, but we're going to have some other people who can weigh in on it too. And that's for everybody because it's a free level. You just need to show up.
I forgot we were doing that. I'm excited. I haven't looked at my
I'm
calendar for
debating
next
if I
week
want to
yet.
dress up.
Ooh, I like that
Should we
idea. I'm gonna think of
should we
something
wear
cool.
costumes?
Well, you guys come and see if we're in costume or not. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. You guys, let us know if you use these tricks. Let us know what you're doing. I would love to hear what you come up with. And we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.